Hey everyone, it's Jen from You So Much. I'm so glad this is working. I am celebrating another day of chocolate for breakfast, and today it seems it is chocolate for lunch because I tried to broadcast earlier. I got up, made chocolate waffles, and I was so excited to share it all with you. And for some reason, the YouTube Live wasn't working. It would render, if any of you guys have ever done YouTube Live, it like renders it up and gets it ready to go. And then, when it's 100%, it says you can start the broadcast, and it kept stopping at 99%. And I tried all kinds of stuff to change it, and I don't know what's going on. So it just didn't work on time. So today it's more of chocolate for lunch. Although if you're in Hawaii or something, you could be having chocolate for breakfast. And I decided to go ahead and keep some of my waffle dough and create another plate of waffles so I can have waffles for lunch too. I know it's a little crazy. So I'm gonna see if I can balance my laptop so I can show you the deliciousness that I made. It is chocolate waffles, and then I just put some fresh bananas on top. And the recipe that I got is a recipe online that's not super sweet. Actually, it had you add sugar, but there wasn't a lot of sugar in it. And there was actually a recipe with like some chocolate syrup, but I decided not to make that because I don't want it too sweet. I just want a little bit of chocolate, and I added these bananas on top. And if you like chocolate and banana together, this is the way to go. And I love waffles because they do have eggs in them, so they have a little protein, and they're a great way to start your day. The other cool thing about waffles is you can make up a whole batch of them. Sorry, I'm a mouthful. You can make up a whole batch, and then you can freeze them, and then pop them in the toaster just like Eggo waffles, but they're homemade instead. And chocolate. So anyway, I use my standard Divine chocolate cocoa, which is so delicious, and it's really, really good. And I'm sure there's many other kinds out there. Maybe I'll try that with another future recipe, is a different kind of cocoa, just to see if I like the difference or whatever. I really like this though, because this particular recipe is not too sweet. It's really, really good. It just has a nice soft chocolate flavor. And I was actually thinking that it might be kind of a cool thing to do is to add like a little bit of chili and a little bit of cinnamon in there and make it almost like a Mexican waffle, almost like that mocha that I made. But that'd be really good in a waffle, don't you think? I think it'd be so good. So anyway, just a suggestion, if you want to add a little spice to your waffle, I'm sure that'd be fantastic. Oh, and the other thing I did about this waffle was, as I mentioned the other day, I was talking about coconut oil. I decided to use coconut oil instead of the butter that's in the recipe. And it turned out great. It really was wonderful. So can't even hardly, I don't know. I didn't try it with the butter, so I don't know if I can't tell the difference, but I think it's fantastic. So let's move on to the celebrations. So last night I had dance performance. Again, another one. This was a dance performance that was put on by the community. So lots of different dance groups all danced together at this club in town, and it was super fun. It was really fun to support each other and be inspired by each other, and honest, a little bit intimidated, which was awesome. But I think that's good because it helps push me a little further. And so anyway, oh hi Janish, I see you in the chat box. Welcome, thank you so much. Maybe it was a little bit better for me to do chocolate for lunch rather than chocolate for breakfast today. I don't know if you heard me saying that I started late because the live broadcast for YouTube wasn't working. I think it happens sometimes when there's a lot of people trying to do live at the same time or something, because my internet was working fine. I did all kinds of stuff to clear off my computer really in a really quick fashion, and nothing worked. So anyway, I'm glad to be here celebrating with you. So what was I saying? I was saying that we had dance performance last night, and so I got up quickly and literally just got up quickly. It was like, okay, I have a half hour to make myself some waffles, and I jammed together these waffles, and I was super excited about how easy it is to make chocolate waffles. Like, I know sometimes when we wake up on the weekend, we're like, we don't really want to make anything. It was so simple, so easy. And so I highly suggest, it's easy for you to get something together and just jam it out. And so that's the first thing I'm celebrating today is flexibility. I'm celebrating flexibility both in my dance and in my body, but also in my day, because obviously I was flexible enough to get up and just jam together some waffles in a half an hour, and then it didn't even matter because I couldn't eat them on time with you all. So I just made them again later. And so my flexibility in the schedule of celebration with 28 days of chocolate, that's fine too. So I'm definitely celebrating my flexibility. And that's one of the things actually that I really, really am working hard on is my flexibility in my dance and in my body, because I think it will help make me a better dancer, and it will improve the way that I carry myself. And I just think it'll improve my confidence with dance and so many things. So, and flexibility is really a really important thing for us to keep as we get older. I think it helps keep us youthful and moving, because when we get all stiff, then we're less likely to want to move around. And, we sit on the couch all day and watch TV and eat potato chips. I think, I don't know. I haven't had the luxury. Well, I do that sometimes. That's just one of my favorite things to do, is watch one of my favorite TV shows and eat popcorn. But, I also like to move around and dance too. So the second thing I am celebrating today is my niece. It is her birthday today. I know my grandpa's birthday or my dad's birthday was yesterday, her grandpa, and my niece's birthday is today. She was born just one day later, and she is turning 11 today. And it's so funny because I've always thought of her as sort of the baby in the family, and I can't believe she's 11. And one of the things that was on her list today was she wanted makeup. And I'm like, what? She's wearing makeup? That's not possible. So, but I guess she's just playing with it at this point in time and just kind of wants to experiment with it and try a few things. So anyway, I am celebrating you, Miss Stella. She is kind of like a kindred spirit of mine. She is my sister and brother-in-law always laugh because she kind of tends to do some things that are similar to me. She's kind of goofy. She's kind of a ham. She loves to pose on camera. And she's just, she just likes some of the same things I do. She loves to dance around, and she's just silly. So anyway, she's a kindred spirit, and I totally appreciate you, Stella. I'm so glad for you in my life. And so happy birthday, Miss Stella Bella. And let's see, the last thing I am celebrating today is I am celebrating the Kindle app on my iPhone. So I know some people have that app, or they have the actual Kindle device itself, which is really cool, of the one on my iPhone. And one of the things I really love about it the most is that I like to read when I wake up in the middle of the night or early in the morning. It's the best time for me to read. Sometimes I just don't feel like getting out of bed, and I don't quite feel like writing yet, but I want to get my brain going, and I'm not, whatever. Sometimes I'll wake up at 2:00 in the morning, I can't go back to sleep. And that's kind of how I know like how tired I am, is if I can pull out my Kindle app and start reading a book, I will go back to sleep if I'm tired. I'll just fall asleep as I'm reading. But if I'm like really awake and my mind's going like crazy, then I'll just keep reading. And it's just nice to have something to do without having to get out of bed. And what's awesome about the Kindle app on my iPhone is I don't have to turn on a lamp. I don't have to have like a little book light for a book. And it just, because it lights up by itself. And it's funny because when I did used to try and read in bed previously up to having this on my phone, which was many, many years ago, I just could never do it because the turning of the pages, the sound itself would wake my hubby up, and it just wasn't good. So if I wanted to read, I'd have to get out of bed. And it's funny because I'm the exact opposite. Like I could sleep through a sound, but the light itself would wake me up. So for me, it would be the light, but the light of the iPhone doesn't bother him. And the other thing about it too is you can set the light on the Kindle app to be a little bit lower, so it's not super bright. So when you're in the middle of the night and it's super dark and you're like reading it, it doesn't hurt your eyes. And I have found now, like sometimes I really want to have a book in my hands. Like I'll go buy a book at the bookstore. But it's so funny because I find myself hardly usually not having time to read those books, because the best time for me to read is like in the middle of the night when I wake up and I can't go back to sleep, or early in the morning. And so I've just found that I really just need to buy the book on Kindle, and it's a much easier way to read for me. So I celebrate that I have that, and that it has helped increase the amount of things I've been reading and consuming, and awesome books that are out there. There's so many. And so I really appreciate having that app, and that's what I'm celebrating today. If you are joining me on the replay, I would love to hear from you what you're celebrating. Janice, if you want to add, I don't know if you have a minute to add what you're celebrating, I'll read it out loud. But either way, I would love to hear what you're celebrating. If you have a favorite chocolate, please put it in the comments below or in the chat box. And I am excited to go out and celebrate today. Tonight, I'm going to go over to my sister's house to celebrate my niece's birthday. So I'm probably going to have chocolate again for dinner. So I've had chocolate for breakfast now and for lunch, and I'm going to have some for dinner. So it's an extra chocolatey, extra celebration day for me. I'm excited about that. So wishing you all a wonderful day. Go out and find something to celebrate with. And thanks for any of you who are continuing to join me. I highly encourage you to celebrate the things that in your life that are going right, because it will attract more things to celebrate in your life for sure. I guarantee it. So whether you do it with me or on your own or however you do it, celebrate, celebrate. There's some awesome things that happen to us every day, and don't forget to recognize those in your life. All right, thanks you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll have another recipe for y'all, and I'll put that chocolate waffle recipe in the description below. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Bye.